Treasury Department buy oil futures as a means to keep the oil prices down or bring the oil prices down?
Well, we're going to be in very good shape. You see what's happening. They are pretty much at the end of the line. Doesn't mean we're going to end it immediately, but they've got no Navy, they've got no Air Force, they've got no anti-air traffic, anything. They have no systems of control. We're just riding free range over that country. And now we're going to look very strongly at the Straits. The Straits are in great shape. We've knocked out all of their boats. They have some missiles, but not very many. I think we're in very good shape.
And then Donald Trump is asked, well, what have you heard? By the way, Peter Ducey of Fox asked this question. What have you heard about the bulletin that Iran may be plotting revenge?
Did you hear what you just heard? Trump said the Strait of Hormuz is in great shape. He said Iran has no navy. But independent reporting says ships were still being struck, and shipping through that waterway has slowed to a crawl. That matters because this is where a huge share of global oil moves. So when a president sells a fake sense of calm, people get hurt, and families get hit at the gas pump. Here is what they are not telling you. This isn't just foreign policy drama. This can become an American cost of living crisis overnight, and by the end, you'll see the fatal error. Trump is talking like the war is already won, while the real world is screaming the opposite. Donald
Trump, his regime hosts the Russians in Miami. Yet again, what do they meet in Miami every other week? And again, they're not hiding it. Steve Witkoff, the individual, the thing who botched the mediation, the whole Trump regime botched it. There was no good faith to begin with. And let's just say that with Iran, where the Oman foreign minister had a deal in principle that was reached, that then that night the U.S. struck Iran because we believed Israel was going to strike first. Here's what Witkoff said. Today in Florida, the Russian delegation led by Special Envoy Dmitriev met with the U.S. delegation, including Special Envoy Witkoff.
What's the problem? Trump is broadcasting confidence, not competence. He says the Straits are in great shape. Reuters reported him saying exactly that. In the same window, reporting described shipping danger and disruption, and CNBC reported UKMTO warnings about vessels struck near Hormuz. This is important because the Strait of Hormuz is not a talking point, it's an economic choke point. CNBC notes roughly 20% of global oil and gas typically passes there, so when the area is unstable, prices jump fast. Then comes Trump's solution. The Department of Energy says Trump authorized releasing 172 million barrels, starting next week. Spread over about 120 days. That is an official U.S. government statement. But notice the pattern. First, reckless messaging, then emergency measures to manage the blowback. What this actually means for you is simple. Higher gas, higher food delivery costs, higher heating and shipping costs. And if this spirals, retirement budgets take the hit first. This is not a rumor. This is the federal government saying it in plain English. They are releasing 172 million barrels from the SPR, beginning next week, over about 120 days. That tells you something important. They expect serious pressure on energy markets. So when Trump says everything is great, remember this page, because the government does not do emergency releases for fun.
Gregory Brew, who covers this stuff, says, so the U.S. is releasing 172 million barrels from the strategic reserves. It will be done over 120 days, so 1.4 million barrels per day, though they will have trouble putting out more than 1 million barrels per day. So the strategic reserve will be left with approximately 240 million barrels per day left. Do I get this right? This is really something. By really something, he means stupid, because the amount of petroleum that's actually the amount of barrels per day that's needed is over between 20 and 30 million a day is what's needed. So 1 million's not.
I'm going to say this carefully. This is outrageous because it's irresponsible leadership. If a president truly knows where hostile sleeper cells are, you act, you don't brag, you don't campaign, you don't improvise on a runway. And while Trump is talking, the conflict is already bleeding into real life. Reuters reported an Iran-linked group claimed a destructive cyber attack on Stryker, a major U.S. medical device company. Reuters also reported Stryker told the SEC the attack caused disruptions. So this is not just bombs and boats, this is cyber retaliation, risk to U.S. infrastructure, and ABC News reported the White House account posted hype videos, using entertainment-style edits around the Iran war. That is the vibe of this administration, meme culture on top, and national security consequences underneath. Every American should know that mix is dangerous.
Sleeper cells? And he goes, we've got our eye on all of the sleeper cells. You've got your eye on the sleeper cells? What does that even mean, you've got your eye? You're just going to let them just chill? What are you talking about? Play this clip.
And it's been for 47 years that way.
And if they try to hit us back, have you been briefed about how many Iran sleeper cells there could be inside the U.S. right now?
I have been, and a lot of people came in through Biden with this stupid open border. But we know where most of them are. We've got our eye on all of them, I think.
Is it dozens?
They came in.
Hype videos about the war. That should stop you cold, because when leaders treat war like content, truth comes last, and the public gets sold a fantasy. The fantasy is, we won, everything is fine. But the sources show a region under strain, and Americans absorbing the cost. That right there is the fatal error. Trump declares victory as a strategy, not as a fact. And when leaders do that, they stop learning. They stop correcting mistakes. They start chasing optics. Reuters reported Trump saying the straits are in great shape. Reuters reported Iran's military spokesperson warning oil could hit $200. And the U.S. government announced a massive SPR release. So no, this is not all under control. This is damage control. Here's my opinion. A president who markets war like a brand will get Americans hurt, and he will pretend it's someone else's fault. Your job is not to memorize talking points. Your job is to demand accountability. Demand Congress ask hard questions. Demand real briefings. Demand the truth before the price hits your household again. Because this is not just about Iran, it's about whether America is led by adults or by performance.